Hi again. Hope the spirituality stuff was helpful and that you met God in a powerful way. So the skill for this week is what's called EMDR. It stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. So kind of a long phrase. So I always just say EMDR. Uh, but if I remember the story correctly, it was a psychotherapist walking through the woods and thinking about her own trauma. And she noticed as she would think about the trauma, if she would move her eyes back and forth quickly as she thought about it, it reprogrammed the way that she felt about it, the way that she thought about it. And so it started out as like just a little blip in a psychological magazine that, hey, here's a great technique if you're having trouble, anxious, to move your eyes back and forth while you're processing something, and it'll make it healthy. And that has expanded. Now there's certain therapists that are just specialize in EMDR, and it's a huge technique used for PTSD, so post-traumatic stress disorder, and people that huge trauma has happened to them, and they need to reprocess that. So how it falls in and what I've used for anxiety and depression. This is another one, just like the emotional freedom technique that you can use when anxiety is high. So if that wasn't as helpful as you would hope for you, that this may be something different. So it used to be just the eyes, but now it's can even be like a rhythmic tapping. So I'll just have people tap on their thighs. I have a little machine. It's called a TheraTapper. It's almost like a cell phone vibrating, and there's two handles, and you hold it. So it will just kind of go back and forth. And what it's trying to do is connect the circuits in your right brain with your left brain, and help you just reprocess information in a different way. Now, my main suggestion, go to YouTube, just look up, how to do self EMDR. That there are specialists way better at this than me. But what I do is, with clients that I work directly with, is give them kind of like safe spaces in their mind. So we do a safe place, we do a safe person, and a protective person. And so there's a list of questions that I'll have them imagine as they're doing the tapping, or with me, they hold on to the little buzzers. But for you, you can do the tapping, close your eyes, and you want to imagine a safe person, a protective person, and a safe place. And as much as you can, engage all of your senses. So with the safe place, I ask questions. They close their eyes. Picture a place that's peaceful and calm as they're doing this or holding onto the buzzers, and I'll ask them questions that engages their senses. So a lot of times they're at the beach. Who do you see? What are people around you doing? Maybe somebody's flying a kite. Maybe people are in the water swimming. What colors do you see? I see a red umbrella. I see a blue beach towel. What smells do you smell? I smell the salt from the salt water. What sounds do you hear? I can hear birds, seagulls in the background. I can hear kids playing. So what you can do with this is just go to a quiet place, close your eyes, start to imagine your perfect place, do your tapping, and describe it as best you can with every sense. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? What could you touch? All those sort of things. And do the same thing with a safe person. If you don't have a safe person in your life, make one up. It might be Superman. It might be somebody you saw from a movie. And also a protective person, somebody who's willing to go to battle for you, and would fight for you to be successful. And just describe those people. What do they smell like? What do they look like? What makes them so special? All the while you're doing this rhythmic tapping. And then I always give them like one final word. So at the end, like let's say it's your safe place. Let's label that with one word. So it might be beach, might be water, might be peace, might be calm, might be serenity. So one word that represents how they're feeling in that moment. And if you're really in that moment and you imagine that place and you're at a place of peace you're connecting your right brain and your right brain, you're going to have a great feeling. And so you're labeling that with one word. And as you do that again and again, in a moment when you start to feel stressed, you can go back to your word, serenity, beach, and the feeling that you have from the EMDR, you can bring into that moment. So play with this, give it a try. Again, I would look around YouTube for people who are certified in this and more experts that may be able to give you great advice, but definitely do the safe place, do the safe person and the protective person, and carry around that with you all the time. Okay, see you next week.